Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com. Use our special promo code BEARS20. It's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping. Let's go ahead and jump on into today's show. Is David Montgomery on the cusp of taking off? I'm going to give this one 4 smoking Jays. I think a big year is coming. We've seen a couple of reports, some articles come out of Bears training camp that Monty looks quicker, he looks leaner, and if you ask me, which is why the origin says it's from me, I think this running back is about to enter superstardom in the National Football League. We saw Monty really start to get going down the stretch last year once the offensive line just became passable, right? The first 9 games of the year, before he missed a game, by the way, with injury, played in 15 games, wasn't that effective. 3.6 yards per carry, only had 1 touchdown. A big part of that was because this offensive line was just really bad. Once it got a little stabilized, we saw Monty play better. I think he played better regardless of the improved offensive line or not. The efficiency was obviously way better, over 5 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns in the final 6 games plus. He had an 80-yard score against the Texans as well. That speed really started to take off, and that's been an emphasis for him this offseason is how can he get faster? How can he get quicker? He met up with a trainer who focuses on improving speed, and apparently that has shown up very well. I'm very hyped for year 3 of David Montgomery. I think this guy is about to take off. I think he can be a top 5 running back in this league. I think down the stretch he was a top 5 running back in the NFL this past season. Now it's about doing it over a 16-game or 17-game slate now, obviously 17-game season. I think David Montgomery is going to be an excellent player this year, and I think this offensive line will be more consistent this year, which will obviously help the cause for a team that, regardless of when Justin Fields takes over, this is still a football team that's going to want to run the football. And with Whitehair, Mustipher, and Daniels in that interior there, you should be able to run between the tackles pretty effectively. Whitehair and Daniels have played pretty well at guard in the past. Obviously, hopefully Tevin Jenkins plays well at left tackle, and Ifedi plays well at right tackle as well. This is still a team at minimum that wants to be balanced, wants to run the football, and at maximum wants to actually be a run-first football team. So hopefully Montgomery builds off a strong finish to 2020, carries that over to 2021, and really takes another step forward. Had over 1,000 rushing yards last year. I think he can push for 1,200 plus in 2021. Will David Montgomery be a top 5 running back this season? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I think he will be. I think he can be. I think for you fantasy football folks, Monty is going to be an excellent draft pick. Y for yes, in for no. Will Monty be a top 5 back in the NFL this season? Now, we told you guys today's show is sponsored by our good friends at Manscaped. Get the new Lawnmower 4.0 at manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. The Lawnmower 4.0, you're probably asking, why is it better than the 3.0? Why not just keep on to that product? Because there's a lot of new upgrades. The waterproof system is even better. The wireless charging system is much better, longer battery life as well. And it's got 4 adjustable guards. It's not an all-or-nothing scenario anymore. You can just give it a little trim. You can give it a heavier trim, a lighter trim. You can obviously still go full shaven downstairs. Your significant other, whatever her cup of tea is, you know best. The Lawnmower 4.0, it's going to allow you to do just whatever you like in terms of length of the hair downstairs. Your balls will thank you. Clean cut, advanced skincare technology with the Lawnmower 4.0. Get 20% off at manscaped.com and use that promo code BEARS20. Let's talk a little Justin Fields here on Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. Is he continuing to impress the Bears coaching staff? Yeah, it's 4 smoking Jays. This one coming from Albert Breer. He released his Monday morning column for SI, and basically a Bears coaching staff member who remained anonymous said, this kid just continues to have the right approach. He's soaking up information. He's asking questions. One of the first guys in the building, last to leave type of cliche guys, which, it's a cliche for a reason, but it's very, very important, especially for young players. The guy has just had the right mindset since he's been drafted, and he understands, hey, right now Andy Dalton's the starter, so I'm going to come in, put my head down, and get to work and continue to improve as a player and as a teammate from day one. A very simple quote here from this anonymous Bears staffer. He's playing the rookie role very well. What does that mean? that means that, hey, you're doing some of the extra grunt work that, doesn't really seem necessary. You're carrying, veterans' pads if you need to. You're asking questions. You're trying to improve. You're trying to connect with teammates, and you're having the right attitude and a positive attitude with your coaching staff, soaking up information. Justin Fields has the it factor. He just understands, guys. Like, he knows what is at stake. He understands what it's like to be drafted by a team that has very little quarterback history. He's saying, hey, I want to be the face of this franchise. I want to do all the right things and come in here, and when my time is here, to play at a very, very high level, and I believe that he will when that time comes. He knows that Dalton's the starter for now, but I think sooner rather than later, Justin Fields will be on that football field playing for the Chicago Bears. So go into your crystal ball for me on this topic and let me know, how many games will Fields start this season? 17-game regular season. I think the max will be 16 because I don't think he'll start week 1, but maybe you disagree. Maybe you think he'll win the job. Albert Breer, by the way, did mention he doesn't think it's a quarterback competition, thinks Dalton will be the week 1 starter, so take that for what it's worth. How many games do you believe Justin Fields will start? Go ahead and get your thoughts in the comments. Now, also on Justin Fields, you Bears fans, this went viral. This is a fun little exchange here between him and quarterbacks coach John DeFilippo. If you haven't seen this clip, I can tweet it out for you guys. But DeFilippo asked him, "Hey, who was your center in college?" Fields said Josh Myers. DeFilippo says, "Did he get drafted?" Fields says, "To the wrong team." And DeFilippo said, "Who's that?" And Fields said, "The Packers." He's already embracing the Green Bay-Chicago rivalry, right? Like, he's understanding, hey, the Bears drafted me. I haven't played a game yet, but you know what? We're taught to hate the Packers, and that is exactly what Justin Fields is embracing. That clip has gone viral. What does it really mean? I don't know, but I think it means he has the right attitude. I think it means he understands what it means to be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. You don't like Green Bay. That's just how it works in Chicago, especially after several years of just getting decimated by Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I love Justin Fields' attitude. I love his mindset. I love what he is bringing to the table even before he actually plays a game. He has all the right attitudes. He's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. I can't wait to see this kid actually play for the Chicago Bears. Subscribe to Bears Now because, hey, this is the time to get in, baby. The Bears are on fire. It's been a fun offseason. Really took off once Justin Fields got drafted, but we continue to plug out videos for you guys. Another round of OTAs this week. We'll keep you up to date with the latest news and notes there. YouTube.com/Bears Now. Mandatory minicamp next week. Training camp in July. It's going to be a fun couple of months, and then it'll even be more fun because the regular season will be here, and we will cover it all here on Bears Now. So subscribe, hit that big red button, and that link below, send it to all your Bears buddies and say, hey, this guy, he's plugging out videos every single day on Dub Bears. So spread the word. Let's grow this channel. Let's get to 30,000 subs as soon as possible. Is Allen Robinson underappreciated? NFL.com, Cynthia Freelund, she did an article of one player on each team that is underappreciated, and for the Bears, she said Allen Robinson. I'll go 3 smoking Jays. I mean, for the most part, yeah, that I do think he is. Now, I think the Bears understand that he's a true number 1 receiver, and I think, people who really understand the NFL know that he's a number 1 receiver, but he doesn't get the love or the credit that a DeAndre Hopkins or a Julio Jones or even like a Tyreek Hill with the Chiefs gets across the NFL. Allen Robinson, I think, is a little underappreciated, maybe undervalued around this league. Look at what he's done, and I'll continue to harp on this. He has put up top 5 receiver numbers with bottom 5 quarterback play. That's hard to do. The only other guy at the top of the NFL in recent years that's been able to do that was DeAndre Hopkins before Deshaun Watson. He put up huge numbers regardless of the quarterback. A-Rob's done that as well. He did it in Jacksonville. He's doing it in Chicago now. And now that you've got Justin Fields, just pay this guy. Like, what are we waiting for? I'm not going to stop talking about this because you got to keep this guy in town. Allen Robinson is not replaceable. He's just not. Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't draft the guy next year, even though you don't have a first-round pick that couldn't become a number 1 receiver. But what Allen Robinson brings to the table at 6'2", 220 pounds is a physical route-running specimen at 27 years old. Those guys don't grow on trees, guys. There's a handful of them in the NFL, and you've got one in A-Rob, and he's still young. Just pay him. Like, it's not hard to do. I'm going to continue to push the sign AR movement because I started it, and I'm going to end it. Get this done, Ryan Pace. Hashtag sign AR in the comments. Get it trending on Twitter. You can tag me in your tweets at HGramNFL. Make it happen. Hashtag sign AR in the comments. Let's keep Allen Robinson long term. I'm not saying make him the highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League. Give him the Amari Cooper contract as you look at the top 5 highest paid guys in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins, that's an outlier. You're not going to pay him that much. Julio at 22 is probably still a little rich, but Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper right at $20 million. A-Rob production-wise has been right there, if not a tick better than those two guys the past couple of seasons. I think he's worthy. I think he's a good teammate. I think this guy has everything you want in a true number one receiver. And, again, he's still young enough to justify giving a 3, 4, 5-year deal to if you are the Chicago Bears. Get it done. Just imagine him, Darnell Mooney running posts over the top of the defenses, Justin Fields dropping dimes to these guys. Keep Allen Robinson. Hashtag sign AR. We'll see you soon here on Bears Now.